Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta. Welcome back on a part 2 of yesterday's video. My friends, as I've said in the last video, it will be far too long to put it all in one tutorial, and instead of that I've created a separate masterclass for those who like making flowers, or maybe you never try it. Please stay tuned, have a look, and give it a go because I guarantee it to you, once you try, you will love it. Now, you not necessarily need to have punches, you not necessarily need to have the same supplies as I do. Just use what you have. If you don't have like a heart shape punch, maybe you have oval one, or maybe you have a dice, or just simply grab a scissor and cut couple of the roughly rounded shapes. They don't have to be even. Remember about that. This is very important. Nature is perfect in its own imperfection, and if you create handmade flowers, the differences in between the petals, they will look even better than just that cookie cut pieces, because if you look on a rose, its petals never look the same. Here I just quickly gave you another example of what you can do with leftover pieces. You can use those negative spaces as an interesting background, so that will be another technique with the punches to stretch your own stash. I am placing those pieces on a piece of the kitchen towel, and very important thing here, I am using watercolor paper, and we're gonna be wetting those petals, so it would be great if you could use watercolor paper, mixed media paper, or anything that can hold the moisture well. You can try and experiment. If you don't have the access to watercolor paper, just use what you have and give it a try. The only one thing I would say is that watercolor paper will hold the moisture way better, and it's less likely for the paper to tear once we're gonna be shaping it. But try and play with what you have and see what result you can achieve. So I spray down the petals, and you will see they are wet enough when they become shiny. They're gonna slightly lift and bend here and there, but it doesn't matter. That will be even better. It will help the color to move. And all I'm doing here, I am dipping my paintbrush in the coloring medium, and again, that could be anything. Could be distress inks, that could be watercolor paints, that could be another paint, slightly water, like if you've got acrylic, just water them down a little bit and add them to your petals. And all I'm doing here, I am spraying them, and I do it on both sides. This is important. If you do 3D flowers, anything like which will be visible from different angles, it's better to color them on both sides, so that way you don't have this white ugly side showing. So they nice on the both ends. And again, I am dipping my brush in a color, and I am only adding it to the top and the bottom piece of the heart. And if you don't have hearts, you're gonna work on the circles or on any other shape you can cut with your scissors. That's fine. Just add the color to kind of the top and the bottom part, and leave the middle section white. This is something which add the depth to your petals, and many occasions, if you look on the pale roses, they are kind of darker on the center and on the top of the petal, and then the middle section remains a little bit more pale. So once I've colored my pieces, I am working on them as they still wet. I am squishing the top part, and I am rolling it in between my fingers. And this is important to do it once it's still wet, so that way, the paper could crease and form like this little wrinkles you can see on the petals. And it's gonna be working perfectly fine on a watercolor paper, but if you've got different color paper, just make sure you're not gonna be squeezing it too harsh, so you're not gonna break in it. Once I'm done, I use my heat gun to just get them dry, but if you don't have it, just let them be for half an hour and you can come back and start shaping them. As I'm making a florals, I will need a couple of the greenery to go around with them, and then I am using the same heart shape punch and I'm cutting those hearts into halves. And then I also have this oval shape punch, which I punch couple of those shapes. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Whatever you have on your hand like shape, it's just, using the punch is way easier and quicker than cutting it with the scissors. That's really the only one thing. But if you don't have those punches, you can then cut couple of those like a almond shape elements and you'll be good. Same way working. I am wetting them down, and this is the difference. For my greenery, I actually color them whole. Like the petals, I like to leave them white, but for the leaves, I'm trying to color them all the way down, make sure all the edges and both sides are covered in green color. So they will be like more natural look. And then once I'm finished, and dip some of them, I even dip in those ink. You can see here some of them I transfer the color with the paintbrush. Once I'm done, I am reaching for a darker tone, and then I am adding some splatters, like kind of making little splatters here and there, so they will be more natural looking, I would say. I think if you look on the leaves, many occasions they do have different, color on one leaf, so that makes them look more natural. And last thing I really like to do is to add white splatters. I think it's just adding something extra to the project, and the leaves are looking way more interesting thanks to it. And what I have here is white calligraphy ink, but if you don't have it, you can use a piece of a gesso, just water it down, or like a white acrylic paint. It will be looking well as well. And you can also experiment and try to do a splatters with different green or maybe like a bluish teal color paint as well. That will give them a very nice and interesting look as well. I had a couple of the pieces which were like really larger blobs of the paint, so I just dip them, like I use my kitchen towel just to dab on top of it, and it's fine. They're splotchy, they're uneven, just like in nature. And now I am repeating the same step. I am taking my heat tool and I'm just making sure they really dry. Before shaping them, they just have to be like a bone dry, so there is no moisture in the petals or leaves. So once my elements are dry, I have couple of those artificial berries, and these are you can buy them in any florist shop. But if you don't have anything like that, you can grab a piece of the aluminum foil and shape it into a ball, and then use the hot glue to add it on top of the wire. Or you can even take a piece of the scrap paper and also roll it in between your fingers to create this little ball. Or that could be like an old bead. If you've got those beads, unused one, just attach them to the piece of the wire and you'll be good to go. I took 3 petals to create this rosebud, and then you can see I cut the bottom bits, and I did like 3 different sizes: the smallest one, medium, and the larger. And I'm doing that because those petals in the center of rose, they usually shorter, so I don't want my petals to stand out from the center. That's why I'm just making them a little bit shorter. And then with the help of the hot glue, I am just rolling it around this pearl, and I'm adding a little bit glue on the bottom, and then for the first layer I actually add a tiny dash of the glue on the top of the pearl, and then I kind of cover it entirely with the paper. And you can see here it's fairly easy. We just add one petal to another one, and then we just like kind of cover it around in a circle and add another layer and another layer. And the size of your flowers, it's actually determined by the amount of the flower petals are you using. So the more flower petals you're gonna add, the bigger the rose will be. And for the layers, like if you want the petals to be more concentrated, like in a rosebud, I am adding glue to the middle section, and then the more layers I am adding, I am just starting to add the adhesive on very bottom of the flower, and then that way the petals remain more open. So I hope it does make sense a little bit. So you just have to try, really. There is no rhyme and reason here. You just go with the layers of the petals, and then if you have those tweezers, you can also kind of roll back couple of the petals, so that way that will give you a little bit more like a open look. And try to play, try to do a little bit different things with them, and these are beautiful. They are very natural looking, a very elegant flower, and they will be a perfect finish touch for any kind of like a wowzer card you will try to you're gonna be making. So especially if you're using, like, if you're making a card which will be given in hand to someone, or maybe you create this like one of a kind gift photo frame or something like that, these will be perfect. And again, this time I'm gonna be making a little bit bigger rows, and but this is exactly the same thing as I did last time. I'm just giving you a chance to kind of see a little bit more and have just additional extra chance to see how am I doing that. It's very easy, it's very it doesn't really take much time once you cut all the petals. And those type of activities like cutting the petals or coloring them, these are like kind of a no-brainer. And what I like to do quite often, I like to either put myself another tutorial, like I like watching my friends crafting and then I'm doing those petals, or maybe just watch like a TV show or something, and I can do a bulk batch of those petals on one go, and then all I have to do is just like put the flowers together if I need them. And again, as more higher glue you will add, the petals will stay more close. And if you want them to start opening, you just add the dasha glue on the very bottom bit, and you kind of press from the bottom, so that way the petal will kind of sit under the angle you can see here. And then you just follow the circle and add another layer and another layer, and you will kind of visually see if you need like a petal to one side. And look for that, this is exactly the same rows, exactly the same way done. It's just couple extra petals and we have this beautiful fully bloom flower. And then I think I have like a 5 or 6 pieces left, so I'm just gonna form another rosebud. It's probably taken around like 12-15 petals to create like a one bigger rose, and then maybe like 6 pieces to create 6-7 pieces to create those kind of rosebuds. So if you want to create the specific number of the um, flowers, you just have to multiply this by the amount of the flowers you are creating. But don't be very precise with counting your petals. It doesn't really, it's not necessary. In the nature, if you see the flowers, everyone is a little bit different, so don't have to be precise. This is not like daffodils or tulips, so they'll be different. So you can see here I just use what I have, the leftover pieces, and I have beautiful flower. And again, I am taking these tweezers and just kind of roll back the petals, kind of leave them a little bit different shape each time, so they are looking beautiful. My roses are done, and this is how it's gonna be on the composition on my card. And now I just need to attach couple pieces of the greenery. I will be attaching those pointy leaves to my flower buds, and then I'm not gonna attach them to the bottom of the rose, only when I finish making the card. Once I place the rose on the card, I will be attaching leaves all around, because they're not gonna be visible from underneath. So I know the greenery will be needed on the rose buds, but for the full blooming rose, I will just leave it until I'm gonna be making my card. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will give a try to create those flowers yourself. I also have a playlist. If you go to my main YouTube channel, there is a playlist which is dedicated to creating flowers. I usually the videos I have there, they usually about creating the flowers from the foam, but there is another one, I think, from the paper, and there is also a video on creating the greenery. So I hope this kind of videos, they will be interesting, and what you have learned today will help you to, improve your skills, maybe just give you inspiration to try something. Let me know actually if you like to creating flowers and you would like to see this type of the videos as well. And if you do, if you enjoy it, if you find the value in it, please don't forget to give a like, to say hi in a comment, and share the video. Even if you don't have like a social media or something, you don't have a place to share, if you click the share button and you copy the video link, this is a kind of an indication for YouTube that you are intending to share the video, so the video is treated as it would be shared. So this is a thing which helps, creative which helps crafters, everyone in the YouTube, to stay relevant, to help beat the YouTube algorithm. So as a small channel, I'm super thankful, and I really appreciate every single one of you and or your continuous help, support in watching my videos and commenting. So I am super thankful and blessed. And here is the final look of the card you could see yesterday, and also a couple more close-up look on those roses. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you had a good fun and spent some nice time with me, and I hope to see you shortly. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and bye bye.